Chapter 4 Flames. Fuse calibrated to burn for the exact amount of time it takes to read this chapter. Anna sashayed out of the burning clinic. She felt reborn, as if the flames had been an inverse baptism that ushered her from the world of childhood to that of adulthood. A world more perilous and uncertain than the one in which she had previously lived, one clouded with the thick smoke of ambiguity and roasted by the tortuous heat of responsibility, but also a world far more exciting, full of leaping, flickering tongues of opportunity. The fire was a fitting symbol for this transformation, Anna reflected. Brandy was digging a trench. It's okay, Pam told him. The strafing won't begin until sunrise. Pam's mother was there, cosplaying as Mikhail Gorbachev. Dr. Crandall handed his forehead birthmark sporting wife a cat with a splint on its leg. He ran back into the building. "Be careful!" Mrs. Crandall yelled to her husband. "USSR con is in 6 days and you're my ride!" But Dr. Crandall, after 19 years of marriage to this terrible woman, would not have much minded a fiery death at this point. As Pam's mother berated her husband, Anna saw where Pam, still wearing the wedding dress, got her costuming talent from. The elder lady Crandall's replica of the navy blue suit that General Secretary Gorbachev had worn on October 11, 1986, when meeting with Ronald Reagan at Hofdi in Reykjavik to discuss the reduction of mid-range European nuclear weapons, was impeccable. But oh shit, the fire was spreading fast. "Mom, should we take the horses and ponies out of the new barn?" Pam asked. Potty and Anna exchanged their Secret Santa gifts. The fire could spread to the barn. The ponies were in danger. Fuck and shit! Anna remembered that a pony would not leave a burning barn. She'd heard stories of ponies running back into a burning barn after they had been rescued. The pony thought his stall was the safest place to be, even in flames. I'm going to leave the above paragraph completely intact. Let it sink in. That's exactly how fucking imbecilic ponies are. Running into a burning barn. Christ! I'm making a concerted effort in my writing to make ponies sound ridiculous, and even I couldn't come up with something that bizarre. You win this round, Jean Betancourt. Ponies. Shit. I'm telling you, Jane. Those animals have a screw loose. The screw, to literalize the idiom and expand the metaphor, is there in the hole, but it's wobbling around like a fidgety drunkard on an overclocked carousel. The screw's thread has no grip at all, so any second now the whole thing's going to fall out from the underside of that shitty IKEA couch which your friends told you not to get. But what could go wrong, you said to them. You could handle it. You built a birdhouse once, so... You want to tighten the screw, but you know that you can't. You're lying on your stomach, flashlight between your teeth, trying to get to that fucking loose screw, but it's all up in a corner by one of the couch's legs so you can't reach it with your fingers, and the damn thing's head is fucking stripped, so your screwdriver won't do you any good. Turn that screwdriver all you want, Jane. That screw's not going anywhere. Suddenly, Anna remembered that Acorn wasn't in the barn. He was still lost in his dark thoughts near the clinic. Anna's heart stopped beating. The young girl clutched at her chest with her grafted-on sloth arm and slowly keeled over until she lay motionless in the snow, dead from a heart attack. Pam and Pawnee rushed to aid her, but it was too late. Anna's unblinking eyes stared up at the star-strewn night sky until Pam closed them with her hand. "Good night, sweet prince," she whispered. Acorn watched the flames consume the clinic silently. He immediately recognized the ambiguous positioning of the modifier in his internal monologue and changed it. Acorn silently watched the flames consume the clinic. The fire itself was deafeningly loud. Acorn was magnificent, standing there in the flickering light. He was what gods dreamed of being. He looked so fucking noble that had he been bronze, Alexander Pushkin would have written dozens of poems about him, and then Acorn would have crushed Pushkin beneath his bronze hooves. Beautiful, isn't it? Acorn shuddered. He had not noticed the cat approach him. It now sat on the fence post beside him, also looking on the fire, its tail swinging like the pendulum of that most secret of clocks, the clock that each of us carries within us, yet refuses to acknowledge until it is forcefully rent from our chests and held before our eyes, the clock that Anna had just seen the face of. Beautiful, the cat continued, but deadly. It turned to face Acorn. Much like you. Its hollow eyes with midnight visions burned. Fuck off, Acorn whinnied. The cat shook his tiny cat head and shit just a bit. I wish I could, Acorn. I wish I could leave here and never again see the thousand sordid images of which your soul is constituted. But I remember what you told me earlier, interrupted Acorn. But why did you have to start this fire? What does that have to do with your plan? The cat feigned shock. What makes you think that I started this fire? After all, I'm just a cat. Acorn ignored this attempt to raise his hackles. No, Acorn's hackles were going to remain as unraised as the roof at a party DJ'd by John Quincy Adams, a president notorious for the non-gnarliness of his inaugural ball. Should I repeat the question? Acorn said. Or do I need to crush you again? No need to get snippy, the cat replied as it began grooming itself. I started the fire because I needed to do something to kill Anna. Acorn's twitchy ears betrayed his emotions. Oh, I have your attention now, do I? I just can't figure it out, what that girl means to you. You feel superior to her, which of course you are, and at times seem to hate her. But you also fear her. You are protective of her. If it was possible for one such as you to love, I might even be tempted to say, "It's none of your business," Acorn said. "Do what you will to me, but leave her alone." See how defensive you get? I suspect that you yourself don't know what you feel. After all, you could free yourself from her at any moment, yet you choose to wear her saddle, subjugate yourself to her reins, dance like a dancing bear, cry like a parrot, chatter like an ape. You act like a normal mindless pony instead of the godlike prince of the galaxy that you are. Do you fear your own power? You've never given a second thought to destroying others, but do you think that, unrestrained, you would destroy yourself? Anna was still fucking dead, but Pawnee was not ready to let her friend go. The township began to perform CPR on Anna's body. Pam, an expert on corpses, knew it was too late, but she decided that this gesture, futile as it was, might be a part of Pawnee's grieving process, so she left her alone. The sound of fire engine sirens pierced the air. It aroused the ponies. They, filthy colloquialisms for horse sex emitted, up and down the paddock. Pam and Pawnee were startled too, but they were glad the firefighters were there, and his father was a volunteer firefighter. Pawnee hoped that he and the other firefighters could revive her friend. She stood and said thus aloud to Pam. Pam envied Pawnee's optimism and innocence. Pam and Pawnee watched the firefighters approach Anna's body. One knelt down, removed his thick glove, and felt Anna's neck for a pulse. He found none. He rose and shook his head at the two girls. Pawnee began to sob. Pam's expression of grim determination didn't so much as flicker. "I will find that fucking cat," she said through gritted teeth, "and I will crush its fucking head between my hands. Its brain nectars will be the emotional purell that will disinfect my soul of its grief." Pawnee stopped crying for long enough to take a wineskin full of gin out from her boot and drain it in one gulp. She had a serious problem.